You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Opening Act After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Opening Act After Show.
Hey, you guys. We are back in the studio holding it down. Bing is for doing, and you're watching the Opening Act AfterBuzz show. After show on AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Jason J. Carter, one of your hosts. Hi, friends.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gabrielle Loren. Nice to meet you.
I'm Jenifer Golden. Hello again.
Hey guys, I'm Mark E. Allen.
Hi, Mark.
How are you doing?
Hello, Mark E.
And
None of us know each other, as you can tell.
wait, who are you? Where do we find these people at? Opening Act After Show. Tonight was absolutely off the hook. It was stellar. It was great. Episode 7, Gotham City and Nicki Minaj. Wow, Nicki Minaj. I mean, is she not one of the biggest stars on the planet this very moment?
I mean, I'm so happy they even booked her for this show. Being that the show's new, it's the first season. They have someone like Nicki, who is actually really underrated. She hasn't even won any like VMAs, really, right? Or anything big. She's always been nominated, but she never wins anything.
Girl can sing, rap,
she's great.
dance. Well, dance, bounce.
Real first name, go. What do you think her real first name is?
Her real first name is Bonquisha Latrell Donice.
No, it's not. Monique, right? I think it's Monique.
Yeah, really?
Well, that name was taken. She sang a song with Brandy.
She did.
But you guys, they rocked it tonight. And, you know, like Bing is doing, we're doing it too. And so did Opening Act. I mean, we had a huge show that we actually attended tonight. So you guys will see the interviews later.
And also we have a special.
At another time. And we have a special guest.
In-studio guest from Opening Act. In studio, live and in charge is Miss Kylie Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kylie.
Yeah.
Beauty queen. Hashtag brunettes rock.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Hashtag.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the show.
Let's talk about it.
Gotham City.
C-I-T-I.
Yes, and every time I saw the name, I thought of Citigroup. I kept thinking of like credit
Citibank,
cards, right?
yeah.
Weird.
Citibank.
But I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, if they weren't from New York, it'd kind of be random. But like, they are from New
They're
York.
from
It's
New York.
awesome.
They're from the Bronx, from the beat. Wait, the BX.
They weren't all from the Bronx.
Whatever.
Brooklyn.
Well, if
They're
I
from
look-
different boroughs.
Okay, if I was from New York, I would not be from the Upper East Side. I'd pick like Staten Island or something. Something kind
Some
of.
flavor.
Oh, no, Staten Island.
What?
Oh wait,
That's where
no.
you're
Gabby's from New York.
Long
what-
Island.
Long Island's where
Long
that's the island
Island.
you want to be from.
It's just better than Staten Island. No offense, guys out there.
Yeah, it's more of a short island.
Well, I mean, mine's just cooler, and there's multiple ways of transportation as opposed to Staten Island.
Oh, so you have to go on a
But you
ferry.
can
Florida
drive.
is good, too.
Can you
yeah,
drive?
you can drive. Staten Island, I think it's only ferry there is a bridge. But I mean, it's just more complicated. I could take a train, they can't.
I saw that one episode of Sex and the City where they went to Staten Island for that fireman's. I guess it was a contest, and ever since then I've been obsessed with Staten Island. I know it's TMI. Back to the
I was gonna say the
opening
same
act. Gotham City, male R&B group. First of all, they sound sickening, ferocious, slamming off the hook, amazing.
Yeah, they do. What you said.
Really good. Not a weak link in the bunch. Their voices so velvety, just the textures. They had skills. They had skills.
It meshes so well.
So well.
They blend well
They-
together.
well, that AfterBuzz, the word of the evening tonight is blend. Apparently when you blend, that's a good thing. So I guess that's going to be when we blend, we're on point tonight.
Yep.
Also, what I liked about them is that Jen all night long, guys, she was like, well, God, they're from the projects and they're so well spoken and this and that. And yeah, that happens. But they're from, they're not from I guess, plucked from obscurity, as I say every week.
No.
They grew up
Right.
in rough neighborhoods. They've been through a lot. Some of them have children. Being on the show means a lot to them, as it should be. But this is a really big break for them.
Yeah, you can tell how seriously they took the whole thing. They said, we got to go kill it.
from start to
This
finish.
is how we're gonna feed our families. This is no joke, and I loved seeing that because we talked about that before. Like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
You never know what this is gonna turn into.
I like how tight they were as a group, which you have to be, especially being 4 guys. They're all singing.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they went wherever they would go. That's where they would practice.
Right.
That
You
is
know
so
what?
cool.
I think that they have this mentality because of how old they are, their maturity level, and because they've been through it. Like we love you. Don't get me wrong. You're amazing. She's actually really mature for her age, Kylie.
Yes, we
but
definitely
normal
talked about
people,
that.
like you get a Brie, and like they're not as mature
Right.
for their age. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess
They're
they are
so
mature for their age,
thankful.
but-
They're so
Yeah,
thankful
they're
to have this
they're
opportunity.
very appreciative of the opportunity and the experience, and it's like refreshing to see people not just like throw it away, like, oh, cool, like I should have gotten it. I'm entitled. You know what I mean?
Right.
Entitlement. That's
Entitlement.
the word.
And these guys were saying they're like, there were times where we didn't eat 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
Like normal people is what they said, and now they can, and this was an opportunity of a lifetime.
Eve fed them more than 3 times a day. That craft service is amazing. But one of the vignettes that they were, being really original and very candid. And one of the guys started crying because of the things that they've seen in their lives, the people dying, violence. For us, or for people who've never experienced that, we can only imagine that kind of effect that it would have on somebody and the perspective that it would give you towards a lot of other things. So one of the things I appreciated about this group was they're just very, I'm not going to use the word humble because I think a lot of people are humble. They're just real and very and cool. Like, people like this. You've seen guys like this in talent shows, or you have friends like this. And another thing I liked about them too is that when they would sing, it wasn't like they were trying to be Boyz II Men. It wasn't like they were trying to be Jodeci. Like, there's so many black male R&B groups that try to emulate other groups or try to emulate each other. There's no like originality anymore. There's no authenticity. These guys were very authentic, and their voices were just I don't know, like, what's the word I'm trying to conjure here? They were just good. Original, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say. They were great. They were a perfect fit to be chosen for Nicki Minaj. And in the beginning of the show, they were gonna go with some girl named Autral. That was kind of abstract, kind of different.
She was very Carmen.
I thought, she was. I thought
Not very
that was
Nicki
cool.
Minaj though.
Too
Right.
similar to Nicki Minaj almost.
Like
Really?
a white
What?
Nicki, right?
Yeah, like the Carmen
Right.
with the Nicki Minaj,
Right.
which I think that you should pair them a little bit different, so you're not really stealing the thunder, or like you're kind of comparing them too much to each other. Like, well, you're cute, bring on Nicki.
Right.
It's just a different vibe.
I don't even know if they'd accept her though, like getting on stage. I feel like they'd be like, who is this girl? You know what I mean?
Well, no, not if it's different.
I
How
really
she was
don't
playing, I
think
think,
so.
acoustic guitar and bringing that aspect to it. Because hearing one of Nicki's songs or something else that in a completely total different way, it always makes it interesting.
Yes.
We're being really positive, but with a lot of drunk people at a concert venue, you never know what's gonna happen.
This is true.
So they meet Olivia. They're avid basketball players. Apparently, they're set up this week how they were prepositioned to be on this show. They thought they were filming an infomercial or a video
documentary on
about basketball.
Yep.
Same thing.
So okay, there were so many stereotypes going on up in this episode this week. I was just like, what? But it worked. I got to give it to you. Good job. Basketball, black dudes work. But and so Olivia shows
And
up.
random like drive-by documentary making.
Yeah, just
I have to say drive-by.
and then oh god, Jen, you're just spewing into the night.
You know what? Own it.
Own it.
Own it.
So Olivia shows up and she wants to play basketball with the dudes. Mind you, full on makeup, eyelashes,
Camera
crew.
just dewy skin. And she's like, okay, I'm just gonna play with you guys. What's up, brothers? I'm Olive. You can call me Liv. And then she takes off her jacket and she has Nicki Minaj on the front of her jersey, and on the back says Gotham City Opening Act. And it was like, all right, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, where'd you get that from?
No,
And
they're like, who are you? She's like, I'm Nicki Minaj. They're like, who are you?
No, you ain't, baby. But it was a pretty good reveal. It was a pretty good reveal. So
Yeah.
it wasn't corny. It was like
Yeah, at least
believable.
this one was kind of planned out. It was like, oh, they tricked them and said that they were going to do a documentary and then flipped the script rather than like, oh, we're on the treadmill.
Right.
Yeah, it
And-
seemed more legit for sure.
Well, it was
Hashtag
legit. I mean,
I
because-
liked also that they had to then go tell their families, so you could see their genuine excitement and then their family's
yeah.
response to it.
Love
Yeah.
the family's response too.
Totally.
Just because, we come from all these different places. A lot of us in LA, especially, and a lot of people don't have that push from their parents, and everybody seemed like they were right there with them and just wanted the best for them. And that's
We
so
love
cool to
the
see.
episodes when the families are supportive.
Love it.
From the beginning, though, I could sense an air of desperation, and not in a bad way. Not so much desperate that they're like, clawing their way out of a box or something like that, but desperation meaning that they wanted more for themselves. They wanted more opportunity. They wanted to
take care of their families.
Yeah, experience what it was like to have a taste of something amazing. And that's what came across in this week's opening act, which I was very thankful for E for capturing that, because that's the reality for a lot of people who want to make it big or who leave home, or fear is your fire, is your fuel. It's paralyzing, but also can push you and propel you into ways and do things you never thought you could or would have done. So,
and I feel like it's very relatable. I'm sure like so many people that come out here. I mean, I know people that have been like homeless in their cars for like 2 weeks or whatever the situation may be. Like things happen, and then like you build yourself up. But it's relatable because you understand how they feel and what they want and how much they want it. You know what I mean?
Yep. So they get to LA, they fly across the country to Los Angeles with Olivia, love her, and they go and meet with Antonina, aka Cher, Nigel, and Nick. Of course, they have to do, which to me is, they heard them sing in their audition tape, but then they also have to sing live for them again. So it's kind of, but I guess they want the live experience to see how their energy is in person. I get it. So they're really not feeling them live. They're saying that they're giving them too much sex, that they're trying too hard.
They weren't as tight as they were before.
To be. They weren't blending. They weren't blending at all. They were not, every time they say blend, I think of a CoverGirl commercial. Blend, number 23, find your color. But Nick says, they're not blending, and that one of the singers is just trying too hard to be that guy, that typical R&B male singer, baby, ooh yeah.
They were actually, when they were discussing how they fit in the group, some of them were saying like, well, I'm just like the harmony guy, and I'm just this guy, and I'm kind of the sex eyes guy.
Yeah. But I think like for Nick Cooper, this was like his biggest project, because usually it's one person, one voice, and this time like he has 4 different people that he has to just make perfect.
Right.
So that was cool that they waited till almost the end to bring this for Nick too.
Kylie, when you were singing live for Nigel and them, what was that like for you? Like, did you feel? What was that energy like in the room? Do you feel it was judgmental? Do you feel like they weren't getting you? Like, how did it read for you personally?
Well, it was definitely nerve-wracking, first of all, because it's Nigel Lythgoe and Nick Cooper and Antonina. And so, but I mean, like going in there, you just feel like you're automatically getting judged because these 3 people that are so high in the industry are just here to tell you how bad you are or how good you are. And so, I mean, they already have high expectations from you, from your videos. And so all you want to do is live up to, the hype that your videos give off. And so, I mean, what they're trying to do is just make you better and make you, the person that you can be for the show. But I mean, of course, no artist wants to hear criticism, I mean, as much as they try to say, well, I have thick skin, I'll be the first to admit it, I do not have thick skin. When people criticize me, I'm like, but it's because of this. But so I mean, it's definitely hard. But I mean, you just got to try to remember that they're trying to help you, and they want you to succeed, and that's what's so great about the show. That's positive.
Sure, they're rooting for you. And like we say time and time again, we're artists, and being an artist, you're the most vulnerable. I mean, you're putting something that's so dear and so sacred to you out to be criticized, picked apart, nitpicked, and judged.
Right.
And you work so hard to be the best at what you can be. It's a real pain in the ass to hear, oh well, I mean, you're kind of pitchy this week, or I feel you, girl. I was pitchy last week.
It's definitely, I mean, you just put all your heart and soul into your music, and so especially your original songs. So when you perform your original songs and people critique them, you're like, but that's how I feel,
Right.
And so
Right.
you don't want to change your feelings, or it's like writing in a journal. You don't want to change a specific part because that's just the way you feel. But
Sure.
I mean, you just got to know that like when people are listening to your songs, you want them to relate to them as well, and so you want to write things that they will relate to as well as you do. So.
Very cool. And we can't wait to hear what you have to sing today. Do you know what you're going to sing yet?
I do. What
are you going to sing?
I actually haven't sang this song on a show, so y'all will be the first
World
one.
premiere,
Yes.
AfterBuzz exclusive.
Yeah, this is actually a song that I wrote myself a couple months ago, and I kind of just set it to the side when I wrote it. I was like, it's all right, but then I pulled it out again about a month ago, and I was like, hey, this is a good song. So I decided I was going to sing it tonight.
So young, so talented. That's awesome. Can't wait to hear it. The guys get approval, apparently, from Nigel, Nick, and Antonina, and they send them into the studio to work with some superstar legends. I my jaw was on the floor. I was like, sweet Jesus, hallelujah. I need to go tell a friend. And speaking of telling a friend, you guys, Tell a friend about iTunes.
Nice.
Rate us. So, you know, good segue.
Nice.
Rate us, comment. We love hearing from you on iTunes. Just go there. Check out all the podcasts from AfterBuzz, and also you can download the iPod and iPhone app. And if you can want to do that, why can't I talk tonight? If you want to do that, you can get that on your phone. And you can have all your podcasts there for you at your disposal to comment on and rate and tell all your friends about and watch, because that's how we roll here at AfterBuzz TV.
Right, and we'll get more viewers. I mean, right now we have 8 million downloads a week on iTunes, guys. Wow. So let's keep that number going up.
Yeah, rate, comment, do all that good stuff too.
Yeah.
Help us keep
Feedback.
the lights on.
Any info you have about Opening Act that we're not covering, or stuff we didn't know, we love finding out new tidbits and juicy morsels for our show. Hook us up, let us know. We'll definitely give you a shout out. Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. Okay, if you don't know who these people are, I mean, what rock have you been under for the last 30 years? Let's
old one.
Let's just do the roll. Let's roll call. Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, Michael Jackson, Prince,
Boyz II Men.
Boyz II Men, Usher, Whitney Houston, Jimmy Jam, Mary J. Blige,
Gotham City.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis have worked and crafted so many hit songs and have garnered so many Grammys for their work. It's unbelievable. And for Gotham City to be in the studio with these two legends is out of this world. I mean, Jimmy Jam and Terry
Bucket
Lewis,
list material.
for sure. Like, Jimmy Jam is no joke. They are no joke.
That's why I almost loved how they weren't disrespectful regarding the whole song thing, because I know that they weren't about it. They wanted to do their own material because it was more genuine. But it was nice to see that they didn't really like step on their toes, because they're respectful of the situation and what God has given them, pretty much.
So what happened with the song?
So what happened with the song was they rehearsed it, went to the hotel in Miami, and then decided to call Nigel up and say, listen, we don't think we can do this song. So they went with one of their own, which I actually think they made the right decision, because I think it was more of a hype song. It was something that the crowd could relate to more than what they were given. Yeah, more current for sure.
You know what was cool though about them learning that the song from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was that they rocked it out when in front of them. They took it seriously.
Regardless.
They played that game. They were like, all right, this is what you gave us. We're going to really take this seriously. We're going to work our hardest. Then they had their thoughts later.
Right.
And they all came to the same conclusion. And they kept on practicing, and they were like, you know what? It's still not feeling right. Let's do something about it. Which, by the way, though, right before that, they brought in like the champagne and stuff. I feel like they could have gone like wild and crazy. They were in a basketball suite. They had the sickest hotel room. They could have been these all-star, not all-star, rock star like guys. But they were like, nope, we need to practice. We need to figure out what song we're going to do. And we need to continue on.
Professionals. Getting back to the song with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Okay, for us, I mean, we were just still in awe over the dynamic duo that was producing them. When we heard the song, it was like, oh, okay, I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
I didn't like it, and I'm
No?
glad they said something. I never thought
agree
that's
with
what it was
you.
going to be.
Yeah.
Like when you saw the commercial for the next week's episode, and they're like, we got to talk to you. I thought maybe somebody was sick or somebody had to go home, or there was like something.
I thought it was a good song, but when you throw all those elements in, like this is your one shot. You got to be 100% on it. So if you're gonna play a song for however many thousand people for Nicki Minaj, you want it to be your best.
Your A game.
I want to ask Kylie, look, when they were giving you your song, did you have any feedback? Was there any kind of like sitting down and talking about what you were going to sing, or did they just say, here's your song?
There was no talking. I mean, it was just pretty much, here's your song. I hope you like it because you're singing it. But no, that was the biggest thing I was scared about, was because I am very picky just about my music. It's because, it's how I represent myself. And I mean, that's how I express myself, and I don't want to sing anything that I don't believe in. And so that was one of my biggest fears, was what if I hate the song, And no, but right when they played that song, I was automatically in love with it. And that was just a big, relief off my shoulders, because I was like, oh, thank God, I will actually enjoy singing this and not be like, why did they pick this song for me? I could have done one of my own, just so many things that you have to worry about. But that was definitely my biggest fear, and it was definitely conquered when they started playing the song. So I was like, oh yes.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, thank you, Jesus.
I felt listening to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis as they were giving the song, as they were presenting the song, that it could have been a throwaway song for them. That's something they just probably wrote for someone else, because a lot of producers, and Mark, you write song after song after song. You're constantly creating. Kylie as well. You're constantly writing. You probably will write 200 songs in 1 year. Yeah. You could be at Starbucks writing a song.
You have your whole catalog.
Right.
You're just like, this
and being an artist, you things speak to you, right?
And yeah, what's crazy is you write all these songs, and you, like you said, you'll write 200 songs, and there's probably 4 out of this 200 that will be number ones.
Right.
You know, it just depends on the timing, the audience you're trying to reach, and you know what the song portrays. And so, I mean, it's just all about a lot of timing is with the songs, and you know, a lot of the people who are listening to them, how are they going to enjoy them? What is the aspect that they're looking at? You know, so I mean, it's just you have to write song after song to get that one song that everyone will finally notice you.
For sure. One thing that I kept thinking repeatedly was, how would Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis feel? I'm sure they get songs rejected all the time, but for like watching the show now,
But rejected by like newbies.
yeah, like not like Mariah Carey saying, "Oh no, thank you, this doesn't fit with my new." But I mean, these randoms, essentially, they're okay. No, that's wrong. Sorry, not randoms. These newcomers are saying, you know, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, legends in the music industry, we don't want your song.
And it's not like they were saying that there was a bad song; it just wasn't them.
Which leads me to give Gotham City props, because that's one thing that we're all born with is a gut, an instinct, and over time we're taught to not follow that. We're taught to be more mental and logical versus emotional. And that gut's there for a reason. Those dudes were like, this is not our brand. This is not fitting with us. We're not doing this. And I'm gathering that they probably had to mull that over. That was probably a huge decision. Yeah. They lost sleep over the night before. Because to call up Nigel and to be like, dude, we're not doing your song. Sorry about it. You know,
like thanks, but nah.
No, you know, but and they didn't. But one thing about them is that they were very respectful about it. They, like you said, Gabby, they're respectful, and throughout the whole show, they kept such a level of humility and respect amongst themselves. You didn't see them bicker with each other.
Yeah, there's no problem child.
No, there was no wild person that was drunk off a 40 ounce downstairs trying to hit on LaQuisha.
They all took it. They equally took it as seriously as the next.
Right. It was, and it was just so cohesive and so on the money that it was unreal. And then when they called Nigel, they were like, "Listen, we're sorry. I mean, we've all talked about this, and we can't sing a song. We have a song that we think is going to work better. That's going to work. Trust us on this."
Yeah.
And
they know themselves as artists. I've said it time and time again. Kylie knows herself as an artist. It's so important, especially at the very beginning of the game, because it's what you represent. But it's also your whole career starts here. Mm-hmm. Let's go. You know, rather than trying to figure it out. You know, especially when you're getting this great opportunity on opening act on E, you got to know your brand. So
yeah. I like when getting back to their rehearsal with Nick Cooper, like you said, I felt like honestly, along with you, Kylie, there was really nothing. I'm sure there's something Nick could have told them, but they were smash hit wonders out the gate. I wasn't questioning, okay, maybe this was a bad fit, or maybe this is not going to be a great show, or maybe they're going to be lackluster. These dudes were stone cold hits from the time they came out, you know, all the way throughout the course of the show. It was definitely an A+ winner for E this week, for sure, for sure. And I mean, E needed to have that R&B. With Jono a couple weeks ago, it was kind of, they were playing the whole family thing. E picks and chooses what angles they want to present these artists to you at, you know. Yeah. And this week, I'm glad that they went, you know, into the homes and showed where they're from. They're from New York, you know. They're from the boroughs. They're from the hood. I mean, let's keep it real. These dudes are from the hood. They even said we're from the hood. You know, we're from the projects in New York. I mean, there is no way to sugarcoat that. I know a lot of people don't want to say words like ghetto or you know, urban or whatever it may be, but the bold reality is that these dudes are from the hood. And Jenny kept saying, you know, they're just so well spoken. Wow, that's great. Yeah, they were blowing my mind over and over and over again. It was just unreal. But getting back to their song.
Can I touch on that though for a sec? I also think that that's a huge reason why music and art is so important in schools. Because he even brought up, I think it was Jonathan said that he, you know, let everything, all of his like upbringing and all of that, like he put that to the side and didn't really let it affect him when he grew up, and he put all of his heart and soul into his music. And that just shows that like education, music, art, it all helps these people that aren't graced with like the things that everyone has in daily lives, you know what I mean, to like be a better person and I mean, look how great they were raised. They were raised amazing. I think this was one of my favorite shows.
It's definitely mine. It was nice to see how close the families were and how supportive they were. No one said, you're not going to make it. You came from here.
Yeah,
Right.
they were all very
We're
supportive.
like, oh my God, it's the most amazing thing ever. Go.
There was no precious kind of situation where like someone trying to hold them back,
Right.
Trying
Exactly.
to say, well, who are you to dream bigger than me? Who are you to want to leave your life that's been handed to you? Who are you to want more?
Way,
You know what I'm saying?
way to go precious on us.
I mean, I'm sorry.
And taking it down a notch.
But another moment that really resonated with me too was when one of the band members said, my biggest fear is that we're going to let this slip away, that we're not going to get a handle on this, get a ring on this, and we're going to let this slip away. And there's nothing, like we were talking earlier, there's nothing more paralyzing than fear and being afraid and having such a huge opportunity right in front of you. Like it's just right in front of you, and only you can screw it up, and not wanting to screw it up. Not purposely trying to sabotage yourself, but just whatever the circumstance may be, it just doesn't work out, and then it's done, it's over. Did you feel, Kylie, when you were shooting the show, what were some of the pressures you were feeling? Were you feeling like, God, this is like my one shot, even though it's not your one shot, but did you feel like, up to now, up to today, up to this date, this is the biggest opportunity I've ever had in my entire 17 years on this planet?
Well, I mean, yeah, you spend your whole career just waiting for a moment to come like this. And so, I mean, for it to finally come, you just keep saying, yeah, I'm ready. But when it's here, you're like, well, am I really ready? You always have that doubt in the back of your mind. And I tried best to, just put that aside and just focus on the goal that I was trying to reach. And, not having my family there, it was like 10 times harder because, I mean, it's all my support systems back at home. So I didn't have anyone there to say, Kylie, quit freaking out. You can do it. Like, don't worry about it. That's what my mom always tells me. And so for me not to have that person there to tell me that, it makes you psych yourself out. And so, but I mean, yeah, it's a big opportunity, one of, like as you said, the biggest in my career, let alone theirs. And so you just don't want to let all the people down that have given you that opportunity.
Sure.
And that's what our biggest thing was, like they're taking a chance on us. Like we don't want to let them down, and we don't want to disappoint them or anything. And so just like Gotham City, I am a people pleaser as well. And so you just want to please everybody, and you want to make sure that they're happy with your performance, and you are too. So it's definitely hard.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in music for? How long have you been doing it?
I started when I was like 12 years old. I started, just writing the hey baby songs is what I call them. But when I turned 13, that's when I really got serious about it, and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do with my life. And so that's when I started playing places and just writing my own songs and stuff like that. So that's when I fell in love with it.
I mean, so it's been 6 years, 6 years of your hard work
Yeah.
and luck.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, that's what people say. It's like, I mean, you could be the best singer on the planet, but if no one important sees you, then you have nothing. And so it's all about just timing and hard work, and let alone just be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Well said.
Preach. Preach.
Seriously.
Letting that marinate.
AfterBuzz, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about tonight's Opening Act show, Gotham City and Nicki Minaj, and we're talking about the song that they were rejecting, and now they've chosen to sing their own song. Let's gab about that. I think the song they chose was awesome, and there was a kicker with that though. They had only probably sang it a couple of times and really haven't perfected the song.
Not everybody remembered it.
Right. It was like, it was one of those throwaway songs.
They put it on
was
the
their Hey
shelf.
Baby song.
Right.
Probably.
It was on the back burner. It was on the back burner, and so they plucked that song from obscurity and brought it back to the forefront, and they rehearsed it, and they sounded great.
Wait, I like that they also went to rehearse in the basketball court.
They could be in their
Does
environment.
that have good acoustics or something? Because I was
Yeah.
wondering why they were in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, everyone sounds better in like a
Yeah.
gymnasium or a bathroom or something like that where it echoes.
I sound like Luther Vandross.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm Mariah.
That's the thing too. Like there was so much pressure to do the show and to live up to everybody else's expectations, but the fact that they changed the song just took the pressure from here to just sky high. Now if you fail, it's on you 100%.
That's what he said. He said, I mean, they're giving us the answers to the test, and if we screw it up, I mean, how can you screw up something when someone's giving you the answers? The pressure was definitely on. But you didn't see them. There was no meltdowns this episode. No meltdowns. No one crying. No one needing to talk to their imaginary friend, their teddy bear. Just nothing. It was just like, okay, dudes, let's go hard or go home. And it was great. That's how it should be. Those are professionals. That's how it should be. I understand for the sake of television, you got to have a little drama. You gotta have a little tears.
Which you love.
I love the drama. But in this case, though, I think if there was drama, it would have been fake and phony and not real. And it would have kind of taken away from the whole energy and the vibe that we're feeling from the show this week anyway. So it was great. It was good. It was good. I was grade A reality television.
I mean, if a producer or a record label does not work with them after this episode, everyone in this industry is crazy. Honestly.
Yeah, especially with those jackets, too.
Yeah.
Those MJ jackets, come on.
They'll sell, for sure.
I mean, I gotta have one of those now. I mean, and what I liked is that Nigel took a chance on them again. Took a chance on them, having them on the show, and took a chance on them and believed in them and said, okay, fellas, it's your funeral. But I mean, and Nigel's probably, from what I've gathered and from interviewing him time and time again, he's the type of person that has good instinct and makes really good decisions in regard. I mean, look, come on, American Idol. Everything he puts his.
He's successful.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. So for him to say, okay, all right, you guys got this song. I obviously this is an issue for you guys. The ball's in your court, literally, and. I mean, that's huge.
What if they would have did that? Like he meets him at the basketball court and he just takes the ball. He's like,
or he comes like
balls in your court.
He just appears to him in like lights and stuff, and that British accent. That would have been pretty cool. That'd been kind of weird too. But he says,
definitely weird.
He says, "Hey, dudes, it's your ball. I mean, it's your funeral." But they showed and proved. They definitely handled it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Kylie's in studio with us. Love having you here. You're such a beauty queen. Like I said, # love brunettes. You're beautiful. And to getting back to what you were talking about earlier, it's so awesome that it's so young. You're so young. Ladies and gentlemen, Kylie is only 17 years old. Can I put your business out there in the streets?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Kylie is only 17 and yet has the wealth of knowledge and the experience of someone who's been in this game for a long time. Where does that come from? Family support?
That definitely is a big factor. My family has always been there, ever since I was a little girl, dragging me, I dragged them around every, softball game and dance competition, all that stuff that they whatever I wanted to do, they were behind me 100%. And that's what so many, people that strive for things just lack, because, they don't have someone to say, you can do it, you got this. And so, but I mean, I've just always been the kind of person that hasn't lived in the moment and just has seen the bigger picture. And so that comes from, how I was raised and the things that I've been taught ever since I was a little girl. And so, but I don't know, I think leaving high school when I moved to online school my sophomore year, that definitely just opened my eyes to a much bigger world than just, high school. But ever since then, it's just been totally different. And, I've just been focusing on my future rather than, in the right now. So.
You apparently and obviously are writing a lot of music in your spare time. What's influencing you these days? What are some of your influences or your inspirations? Like where is your artistic integrity and your ideas coming from?
Well, what I love about my music is I try to tackle all different aspects of life. I don't just write about love. I just don't write about one topic. I, write about growing up. I write about being a little girl again. I write about, all these things that I know different people are going through. And so, I try to tackle every aspect. So when somebody hears my song, they're like, that's exactly what I'm feeling right now. And so that's what I want people to feel when they hear my music is, they just don't want to be like, okay, well, I'm not in love, or I am not going through this particular situation, so I don't want to hear this song. You know what I mean? So I try to just tackle all aspects of life and all the things that I've been through, let alone my friends and my family and stuff like that. So I kind of just base my music off of my life and what I've been taught, what I've seen, and things like that.
And I think that's what probably your fan base identifies with. That's why they love you so much, is because you are relatable and you are sharing those experiences that we all share. There's nothing more amazing than hearing a song from your favorite artist and like, oh my gosh, like I totally get that. They painted the perfect picture of something that I could have experienced or I have experienced myself. So kudos to you, young lady.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
That's what country music does a lot. That's the one thing I love about country music. I mean, I love all country music, but just telling a story and just being able to relate. I mean, if the world burned down, then the only thing that would be
cockroaches and country music. For sure. Atomic bomb happens, cockroaches, and Kylie Morgan are still going to be singing their songs.
Still right here.
Jen the Jew, how did you feel about Gotham City's performance tonight?
I thought you were saying that I was going to be left too. I'm like, oh, why?
She's gone?
I am chosen, but why?
Gotham City tonight, how did you feel about the show?
I thought they were awesome. And actually, I wanted to ask Kylie, how much time have you gotten to spend with the rest of the opening actors?
Gotham City was one of the acts that I got to spend more time with than everybody else. I've actually, when I was out in California filming, they were there too as well. And so they were the people that I got to spend more time with. And they are just absolute sweethearts. There's no other way to put it than that. I mean, they're like, I haven't known them for that long, but just my first impression of them was just so like not what I expected. You know, you see like these guys and where they came from, you expect a totally different, you know, it's just an automatic reaction.
Right.
And then they just come in the room and with their persona and the way they, you know, appeal themselves. I mean, it's just, I was just like, wow, you know, I mean, they were all just so supportive of me as well. And so that's what was great about, you know, this whole, what we call our opening act family. We're all just supporting each other and rooting for one another. So I think that's what's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Nice.
I'm a big fan of Gotham City. I'm excited to see what happens with them. You know, they sounded great.
Yeah.
I was a little skeptical about like another Boys to Men or like
Right.
a Jodeci.
Yeah.
I think we
type.
need that. I think we need
So
that
do
right
I.
now.
That's why I said they
I
remind me
agree.
of Boys to Men. I want a Boys to Men.
You know what? And I think
Sorry.
I think as trends come back in style, so should the Boys to Men kind of group, because now there's like the Wanted and like these kinds of boy bands again.
Yeah.
I think we need another like R&B band again.
R&B
112.
Renaissance. Yes, an R&B
Wait, was
Renaissance,
Boys
right?
to Men 90s or 80s?
No.
90s, right? Wait, please remind me. I'm
90s.
sorry, it's been a while.
Yes.
Let me give you a Boys to Men.
Wait, can I say
Motown
something?
Yes.
Philly.
It was
Right.
90s. Okay, so
91.
90s. This is a year
Fresh
the
Prince of
90s are
Bel-Air.
coming back.
Right.
98 Degrees, no doubt. Spice Girls are even going on tour. There's so much going on with the 90s this year. So come on, boys.
Wait,
to
90
This
Men.
is their
Degrees
time to
coming
shine.
back?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's
with
like
an album.
We're the New Kids on the Block. They're on tour together. It's like a boy band
Yeah,
thing.
well, New Kids on the Block.
Here's the thing though about music though. We're young, but from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, people were so creative. There wasn't any there was auto-tune, but there was organic sounds. There was
I'm glad you brought this up because
Yeah.
these guys were harmonizing and singing a cappella, and it was just.
brilliant, like chills, right?
Oh, I might have said that. I did say that. I was like, whoa, I can't.
And so we're talking about a renaissance here in music, R&B. Nowadays, everything you're hearing on the radio, more or less, is auto-tuned, overproduced.
Samples.
Not really any vocals. Like artists, like I know Mariah Carey. I'm sorry, I love her to death. Her new album, she says she doesn't want to follow any kind of trend. She just wants to make good music and give her fans good music. And I think every artist should want to give their fans good music. And things should be more organic. Voices should be clear. Voices should be natural. The reason why you fell in love with an artist is because of what they presented before they evolved. And granted, Britney, all these people, they evolve. That's part of being an artist. You grow, you experience more things, you open your eyes, you let in different things to grow your craft, I guess. But as far as these guys tonight, they definitely had that throwback soul. They had what's missing right now on the radio. What's missing
natural
right
talent.
But it was still current at the same
now.
time.
Right. It was relevant. It's like polka dots coming back in. It's relevant. It's old school, but people
Stripes are out?
I was going to say,
What
More
I'm
guy,
saying is
more
that
stripes tonight.
It's like what's old. They always say what's old is new again. You know, the 90s are hot again.
Yeah.
You know, 80s are hot again.
like, just give it a minute.
Yeah,
Let
well,
it
that's one
simmer.
thing. Like with
It'll be
Adele,
back.
when Adele came in and kind of just ripped up the whole music business because everybody was getting so poppy
Right.
and just overproduced, which is cool. I mean, when T-Pain came out and started doing the auto-tuning thing, and everybody else kind of followed suit. But yeah, it's good to see the natural. Like even Bruno Mars comes back, and you can hear more of his vocals and his range.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than being overproduced. So.
And just to
I
credit
agree.
country music, I feel like they have stuck to their singing roots for a
sure.
while now, and it's all, actual singing.
Exactly. There's nothing like hearing, and I know Kylie, you can attest to this. There's nothing like hearing. I'm a big Carrie Underwood fan.
Oh yeah.
Some of her songs are just like you have to stop. Let's say you're driving. You have to just pull over and just experience the song.
You gotta let Jesus take the wheel.
So that guy on the side of the road is Jason.
It's me bawling my eyes out to
It's not a
Carrie
flat
Underwood.
tire.
Because there's just some songs in country that just get you, and you're just like,
Oh, yeah.
wow, and not even wow, it just speaks to you. And I know people who don't. I don't understand people who don't listen to music like that, who don't let music take you on a journey, and that's the reason why country is still around, because they can sing about Toby Keith singing about being drunk in his 40 ounce, or Carrie Underwood singing about love and writing these letters and throwing them away and picking up the phone 1,000 times but never dialing your number, because we've all been there. We've been there, and it's so and relatable is not even a word you'd want to use. It's just it's a testament to the life that and it's something in our life that we've all experienced. And that's why country is still here, because they get it right
The
every single
music
time.
is an experience.
Yes.
That's why.
Preach.
There you go.
Hallelujah.
I love how we've turned R&B night into country night.
It's all relative. What we're talking about is just that with Gotham City tonight on Opening Act, they stayed true to who they were, and who they were is an R&B group that is talented, that has what it takes to make it to the top, and that is reminding us that hard work, dedication, and actual trials and tribulations and putting your experiences into your music is what makes great music, point blank and simple.
And it pays off.
There you go.
I have a question before we move on.
What's your question?
Kylie, and I don't know if you're allowed.
Yes.
This is a super serious question. I don't know if you're allowed to tell us the answer to this.
Serious.
Because I always have to ask these questions. I've made myself
I'm kind of scared.
self-anointed investigator of Opening Act. Now, how much of that is real, that they can just change a song at a whim when these, mega stars created the song for them? Could they just call up Nigel, and really, do they have his phone number? And can they just call him and say, hey, homie, I want to change our song?
Well, what's awesome was about this show is everyone was so just tight within the thing. Is everyone was so personal, and it's not like like you would assume that Nigel would be like, I don't have the time to talk to you, because like with these people, they were personally involved in all of our situations. And so like I got the chance to like personally like sit down with these people and actually talk about what was going on and what I was going through, what my faults were, what everything that was going on in my head, and they actually cared to help me rather than you're just a product, you're just you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's what was great about this show, is it was a positive reality show, which is hard to find these days.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just gives the audience a chance to show us who we really are, and I thought they did a really good job of portraying that, because like you said, a lot of reality shows are a lot of them are really fake, but I thought this show did a really good job with just portraying how we really felt, and letting the audience in on our feelings and our journey especially.
Yeah, there's no competition. It's all about making
won
you
already.
who you are and making you better. So
When we spoke to Nigel, we actually had the opportunity to talk to Nigel at Universal City Walk for the Opening Act concert that you guys all performed at. That was really, really cool. Nigel said exactly just that. This wasn't a competition show. There was no competition. That's why, and we were talking about what was the payoff of all this. Maybe the payoff is what we're watching every week, just the opportunity for these people to get on television, show their talent, and then go from there. That in itself is a pretty big deal, I think.
It is pretty cool to watch people become discovered.
Yeah. Plucked from obscurity.
Plucked.
Did he comment on anything regarding what happens after, like the next step for these people?
Actually, Nigel did it. Nigel, one of the things about when you interview Nigel Lithgow is he's good with his words. He's very vague, but still gives you enough that you're satiated.
Some would call that media training.
You're right. That he's he doesn't ever tell you like blah. This is how it's gonna go. He'll say things. He's very roundabout, but still reveals enough to keep you intrigued or to answer the question that you ask. So he didn't say anything about that, but I was glad that he said that this is not a competition show, and that that all these people were chosen because we're authentically chosen, not because we needed to have a country singer, we needed to have an R&B group, we needed to have a Lady Gaga type of person. These people, they could have had a whole show of people that were the same. That wasn't what it was about. It was about just giving people the opportunity to shine and show America what they're about. So
many different people.
That's
and so
amazing.
many types of people.
yeah, it was really cool.
I love Nigel.
And it was fun hanging out at Universal City Walk tonight.
yeah, definitely.
It was.
The show, Mark, you had a stellar time.
Yeah, I got to meet everybody. We got to see the guys from 24/7, who I know Rajiv from back home in Michigan, and
He was on the show.
yeah, he was.
They were on the show.
Yes, 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody else, it was just we got to be part of the Opening Act family too. So that was
Which
nice.
was pretty cool because they actually already knew us.
Yeah, they watched the show. They listen to the podcast or watch us on YouTube, which is a huge deal for us. Thank you so much for that. You guys really appreciate it. But that's how you know when you're on your games, when we're handling business. But it was so awesome to see Tanner. Tanner was there tonight.
I think you should do a song with Tanner on YouTube or something. You
He
guys gotta pair
actually
up.
just tweeted me about that the other day.
Wow.
Talking
It
about a
happened.
collaboration.
Same page.
I would love to see Kylie do a show for us right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Kylie.
yeah.
I would too.
Okay. Well, I mean, you got your trusty guitar. Let's have that in.
Yeah, so let's go to commercial real quick.
All
We'll
right.
go
We'll get
commercial.
set up and then make it happen.
Back in a moment, guys.
Hey there, good buddies. My handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man. No, I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AfterBuzz TV. And why? Because AfterBuzz TV is like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows, like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AfterBuzz TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AfterBuzz TV goodness. Check them out, give them a holler, and tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you.
Oh, good.
And AfterBuzz, we're back live in studio. It's the Opening Act after show on AfterBuzz TV, and we have the one, the only Kylie Morgan, who's going to serenade us. Such an honor to have her here. Girl, you're the bomb.
Thank you.
Give us a little acapella. It's all you. Take it away.
All right. Well, this song is an original song that I was telling you about earlier, and it's called 12 Months Ago.
Nice.
Also, wait, we have to use that mic, right? Because you don't have the other one?
Yes.
So, okay, cool. Just wanted to know. Sorry. Just want to make sure we could hear your lovely voice.
Just to make sure. Thank you. All right.
This was 12 months ago. I know, 'cause I would be lying in your arms. But now I lie alone, so quiet I can't hear the faucet dripping. If this was 12 months ago, that sound I hear would be your heart beating. I can feel you on my skin, and I can hear you when my heart is listening. 'Cause no one will ever love you the way I did. If we were living in another time, we'd be living out all our promises. Take me back to that perfect place where new love could conquer anything. All I wanna do is hold you close, darling. Please take me back 12 months ago. I just so happened to run into you on the street yesterday. Now some may call it coincidence, but I just call it fate. I haven't seen you in so long, honey, it's been too long. From what I heard you're doing well, yeah, you got a new job, you found a new girl, and I
That was
Oh my
insane.
goodness.
Where can we buy
Buy
that?
that, yeah. I need to download that now.
Thank you. No, I actually just wrote that a couple months ago, so I haven't recorded it or anything. It's the first time I performed it on a show. Or
I need it now.
Yeah, like
You didn't know that was amazing when you first heard it?
No, I kind of just surpassed it. I mean, I was like, all right, well, there's another song for the week, and then I replayed it like a month later, and I was like, wow, that's pretty
But
good.
it's beyond good. Do you understand the words you're saying? This song, and not to be personal, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to make it personal, but it took me back to a place when that feeling you had about you see someone that you're so in love with, and they're gone, and you hear they're doing well, they've moved on, and you're like, wait a minute though, but I know you. Like, this is not, you're supposed to be with me. Oh, so good.
Yeah, because you
So
try to
good.
be happy with that person. You're like, oh, as long as you're happy, you know, and inside you're like,
BS!
no,
All
you're supposed to
lies.
be happy with me.
Wow, Kylie, epic.
But see,
Epic.
this is why I think that on opening act with talents like her, they need to do their own songs.
Yeah.
Because you guys have a lot better stuff sometimes.
That's a hit.
Than what they're. Yeah, that's a hit for sure. Like a radio song.
Right.
Don't you
That's
agree?
a great song.
Thank
Phoebe
you
is
guys.
also a great song.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really put my, my heart and soul into my music, and so when people compliment me on it, it really makes me happy.
That was great.
Thank
that was
you.
great. I was like kind of fighting back tears. It was good.
That is so fun.
It was good.
Straight up.
Thank you, Kylie.
No,
thank you so
thank
much
you.
for stopping by tonight. Always a pleasure to see you. Wish you all the best. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
What's next for you? Tell us everything.
Well, I'm kind of just, in the middle of getting everything together. I graduate in 2 months, so
Yes.
I know I'm like,
Yeah.
it's almost here. I'm on the downhill slide, and so I take my ACT in less than a week, so I got to go home and study
wow.
for that. I know
Good luck.
I'm trying to focus on this right now and just get that out of the way and be done with high school, and then that's the way I can really focus on, just my music and where it goes from here, and hopefully, it'll take me to new heights, and,
It will.
hopefully so.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You're so gifted, so talented.
Oh, thank you.
Such a pleasure.
Did you ever audition for any of these other shows, like maybe American Idol or something to that?
I never did. Well, first of all, like when I was first, when I first got into singing, that's what I wanted to do, but I was always too young. Like they just now changed the age
right.
to 15 on American Idol, and so by the time they changed the age and I was 15, it was I was to the point where this show called and I was doing other stuff as well, and with those shows, I mean, it's such a long process, and it's such a big thing to to commit to that I just wanted to see if there was other avenues the way to get to where I want to go. So
You're very smart.
Well, thank you. I
problem.
appreciate it.
Wise beyond your years.
Yes.
That's
for
why
sure.
you write good music, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for news and gossip.
Yeah, it is.
And tonight,
AfterBuzz TV News.
we got the hotness, the tea, the skinny on some of your opening act friends, as a matter of fact. Jenna Ju, care to elaborate?
Well, tonight we were actually at, as Jason mentioned, the opening act concert at Universal City Walk, where we saw all of our opening act friends and saw them perform the songs from the show. And Nigel was there, and there was a big crowd out there,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
There was.
It was great seeing them clapping and dancing around and being so excited to
Oh,
see you
I
guys,
know.
taking pictures with you guys. It was great. I mean, we were also taking pictures with you.
No, we were excited 'cause it was a Monday night, so we didn't know how it was going to turn out.
It was just so awesome to see you guys. And we had actually been talking about this for so long. Like, what happens now to you guys? Do you go on tour together? Do you do the rounds? What's next? And then we found out you were doing the show.
Yeah.
So it was great to see you. And, I mean, does something else come from this? What's next? With opening act, at least.
I mean, it kind of just depends, We're still working on a few things in the works right now, and I can't really share much, but I mean, I'm just hoping that everything, because I've learned that nothing is for sure in this business. So,
Yeah.
People will tell you something, and then the day later it's gone. So I'm just trying to get everything together and be the best person I can be so that my music can be the best music it can be.
That is great.
Do you think there's ever a chance that they're going to put out a CD for all of the opening acts contenders, I guess?
Well, I know that tonight's concert is going. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do with it exactly, but some has been talk about a DVD. Some has been. I don't know.
Right.
It may be all online. I'm not really for sure. But
I think
know.
they're actually going to air this tonight.
They are?
In November, they said, yeah.
Okay, well then
For
you
you
just
guys.
told me something.
But I was
You
thinking
said
maybe,
nothing.
yeah, right. I was thinking maybe even CD and like sell your guys' music
Yeah.
in stores for
Well,
opening act.
They have put all of our singles on iTunes, the ones that we performed, like My Song on the Radio and Gotham City songs that they sang. So the single that we performed is on iTunes, so that's good. At least, you know, we have something out there for the public to buy. And so that was exciting for me because I've, you know, iTunes, it's pretty big. So. That was cool.
of
You
course.
can find it on iTunes. That
You're
was
on
cool to
iTunes
say.
with us too, so
Yeah,
look
so-
at that.
Yeah, we're iTunes buddies.
Speaking of something you just said, you said, you know, nothing's for sure in this business.
Yes.
We found out some really juicy stuff tonight
Uh-oh.
while at the concert about our good friends Joy Island, who were actually in studio with us. They didn't perform tonight.
They did not.
No. And we found out from both sides of the equation, you know, their take on what happened. So Bree separated, I guess, from the group.
Bree is now a solo act, no longer with Joy Island.
No. And Josh and Johnny are
A duo.
and even looking for a DJ to replace Bree. So we heard more. Well, it was that they had like competing dancers.
Yeah.
And they were going to put on this whole show with like glitter and things that they were going to throw out at people and all kinds of like a big production. And I guess they got into an argument right before yesterday, right?
Well, there
During
had-
sound check, I
during
think.
sound
so,
check.
right?
But there had been stuff brewing for weeks, apparently, from a very close source to the band, saying that, you know, that they really weren't getting along. And apparently what we saw on the show was a half-truth of what was really going on with Joy Island. So I know you don't know anything about that, but talking to the band members tonight, it was really shocking. And, you know, I actually got the chance to talk to Bree, and she basically said that, yes, they have decided to go their separate ways, and that Bree is now actually getting out of the business. She's going to chill and not be performing at all.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
Well, we also do have another exclusive. Besides the video we're going to put online eventually with these interviews, I also videoed on my cell phone the interview we had with the guys from Joy Island. So they talk about the whole situation, and I'll put it online for you guys
AfterBuzz
eventually.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Absolutely.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Exactly.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the show we have for you tonight. Kylie Morgan, as always, thank you for stopping by. Anytime
thank
you're in
you.
town, come hang out with us. We'd love to hear
Any new
will.
songs,
any
bring
new
them
songs.
down.
Get all those 200 songs you wrote, pull them out the bag. Let's
We'll do one a
this.
week.
All right, sounds good.
Like
Thank
a
you,
little
guys.
music session here at AfterBuzz TV.
Until next time, you guys, I'm Jason J. Carter. You can find me on Twitter at JDC Forever.
I am Mark E. Allen. Check me out on Twitter.
Kylie Morgan 33 on Twitter.
At Jen the Jew.
At Gabrielle_Loren. I almost forgot I was going to say.
As always, thanks for tuning in. Rate us on iTunes. You can find all your podcasts on iTunes. Leave comments, give us feedback, tell a friend, make it happen. We love you. Mwah. Nothing but love from here at AfterBuzz TV. See you
From
guys later.
Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.